Forget that. Forget that.
There you go. I thought I did. Okay. Roll call, let the record show present is Sharon Hawley, Jackie Lavoy, Jordan Hicks, and Lisa Callahan. 1.3, public forum. Do we have any public forum? Yes, please come forward.
That I had aging and disability services division, and I just wanted to kind of come in and I'm the Northern Regional Coordinator, and I inform policy for the division. I first wanted to see if maybe possibly I can be added on your next meeting to discuss ADSD services, as well as I would like to be here to support any issue related to aging and disability services. Sorry. Should I repeat myself?
Actually, I heard you.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, I heard most, of it. I
Okay.
just didn't catch your name.
Cecilia Alonso,
You spell your last name, please?
Alonso. And I did bring some program information, and I'll leave it on the table.
When is our next meeting? April
April,
13th? April 20th. He's gonna double check, but we can definitely put you on the agenda.
Thank you.
the next meeting should be April the 10th, the second Friday of April. Oh. Do you have a card?
Yes, I'll bring it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. I forgot to read the.
Chief to read that, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Hearing devices are available. Please see the city clerk. This is the portion of the meeting devoted to the public. The public may comment on any matter that is not specifically included on the agenda as an action item. Items not included on this agenda cannot be acted upon other than to place them on a future agenda. If you wish to comment, you can do so in person at the meeting or use the raise your hand feature in Zoom. If you are participating via phone, *9. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please avoid repetition. The chair may at his discretion hold comments until the second public forum at the end of the meeting. Public comments submitted prior to 4 p.m. of the day of the meeting will be provided to the board and added to the record, but will not be read during the live meeting. Any input received after 4 p.m. the day of the meeting will be included in the record, but may not reach board members before action is taken. Is there any public input? If you're speaking at the podium, please print your name on the sheet provided. Okay. Sissy, did you sign in up front? Thank you. Okay, item 1.4, possible action, approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Jackie LaVoy, for the record, I'll move to approve the agenda.
Jordan Hicks for the record. I concur.
All in favor of approving the agenda? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. 1.5, possible action, approval of minutes. Do we have a motion?
Sharon Hawley, I propose to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
Jordan Hicks for the record. I second that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. The minutes from the last meeting are approved. Item number 2.1, presentation by Rebuilding Together Northern Nevada.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Katie Pace, for the record. I am a consultant of Rebuilding Together. However, I am a founder, then I was board president, then I was executive director, then I'm program specialist, so now I'm a consultant. So I've worn many hats. So can I have direction again? Is this the clicker?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Our mission is repairing homes, revitalizing communities, and rebuilding lives. Our vision is safe homes and communities for everyone. We are a national organization. Oh, she said I had to turn it on. Let me see. Am I supposed to point it to something? Oh, there it went. How did I do that? I might have to try it again. Meg Shea is our CEO in the Reno chapter, the Northern Nevada chapter. Just a little thought of what she had to say there. I'm not sure if my link here will work. Well, you can see it later. The Transforming Lives is a YouTube video, which will give you a little insight, a video of some homes that we have worked on and some of our volunteerism. It's just a nice way to showcase what we do. Oops, went the wrong way. There we go. So we all know that home and health and happiness is where we connect. And so here are some of the folks that we have helped in Northern Nevada. Can tell stories about all of our families there. So who is Rebuilding Together? We are a national organization. There is 110 chapters around the United States. Las Vegas chapter is celebrating 32 years. So you may have heard about Rebuilding Together on a more larger scale. We were founded in 2020, so we've been around just coming up on our 6th year. We follow some national protocol, which is the 8 principles of a healthy home, and a 25-point safe and healthy checklist is what we observe when we are doing an assessment. And I'll show you some of those things in a few slides. Our goal is safe and healthy housing at no cost to the homeowner. So our grants fund all of the repairs that we do in a home. So that the principles of a healthy home, we all know we want to have a home that's dry, clean, pest-free, well-ventilated, safe, contaminant-free, and maintained. And then some new features that have come about is accessible. affordable, and ready for a disaster. Our 25-point safe and healthy checklist includes items that are safe egress. We are looking at the entrance of a home, the exit, secure windows and doors, locks, those kinds of things, smoke detectors and CO2, plumbing and heating, electrical safety, and watertight roofs. Those are all things that when we look at a home, those are things we're looking for. People call us for something else, but maybe it's their water heater. But when we go in, we're still looking for trip hazards, grab bars they might need, any of those things. So when we put together a scope of work, we would include those items. Our different programs are the Safe at Home, which is the smoke detectors and CO2 detectors. Our fall prevention program includes grab bars, lighting, ramps, and any other minor accessibility repairs. And then our critical home program is plumbing, electrical, flooring, carpentry, HVAC. We have Facebook or Instagram. We have pictures of our before and after, which really will highlight some of the work that we do. As you can see, here's a bathroom renovation that we did. We took out the tub and put in a walk-in shower. We've been doing quite a few of those to help people age in place. There's a couple of ramps that we've installed, and then our happy homeowners, as we call them. But that's some of our outcomes are increased safety. People just feel safer in their home. Physical and mental health. Physically, they're able to get around, and sometimes those repairs take a toll on a person mentally too. So having us come in and do these repairs really is a good outcome. And then upward mobility. So many of our homeowners have been in their homes for 20 and 30 years. They want to keep their homes in their families. So this is a way that we can help them stay and age in place. And definitely fostering independence, because adding grab bars and ramps makes their home more accessible, and they might not need a caregiver to help get around their home. And then community connection. We have rebuilding days where we work with employers, and they bring their employees to do a rebuild day with us. And then the neighbors come out, and it really brings community. So it's a really nice way to have that kind of outcome, to have some community connection. The people we serve, majority are older adults, 60 or 62 and older are many of our grant requirements. Low income homeowners, 80% and lower is our target market for income. And then military veterans and people living with disabilities. And then if we have grants for families of low income, which right now we don't have one, but we have had them in the past, we're able to help families of low income. Eligibility requirements for our program: the person must own their home, and they must plan to live in it for 2 years after the repairs, and it must be their primary. Must have owned the home for a year before we will provide services. Their mortgage and their HOA or space rent needs to be current, and I'll go over some documentation that we collect. Their property taxes must be current, and we do require homeowners insurance. We serve single-family homes, condominiums, townhomes, and I know there's many manufactured homes in northern Nevada. We serve those that are post June 15th, 1976, which is a HUD label on a manufactured home. Mobile homes tend to be older than 1976, and because of their age, we're not able to serve them. We do address critical, safe, and healthy issues. Cosmetic can be a positive outcome. So if somebody needed their home painted, we're not going to paint a home just to paint a home, because it's not a safe and healthy requirement unless there was some major sort of safety issue. So it's always a positive outcome. we collect the gross income of all those 18 and older in the home, so not just the homeowner. Our HUD income limits, so specific to Lyon County, is 53,000 for one person in a home. So you can see that's a nice, healthy income in comparison to many programs that are out there. So that's that 80% area median income. Many are 50% or 30%. The documentation that we would collect is a driver's license for all those 18 years and older, their monthly income for all those 18 years and older. And that would be items like their benefit letter, their VA letter, pay stubs for 30 days. And if they have rental property, we would collect their income from a rental property. Mortgage statements or their deed, their homeowner's insurance policy, 2 months of bank statements, checking, savings, and any other assets. And then if they have space rent or an HOA, we would collect those items. We do work with contractors where we don't do the work. We hire contractors to do all this important work, but we do vet them. So we make sure that they have their state of Nevada contractor's license. If they have a manufactured service person license, we collect that too, because you have to have those types of vendors working on those types of homes. So we make sure they have the right certificates. Business licenses for their county and the state. And then there's insurances, their general liability, and there's their workers' comp. So you can see we do a good amount of vetting. We do a lot of communication with our vendors. We like to make sure that they really understand and communicate well with our clientele. So we want, many of our clientele are older, so we want them to have good manners and treat them politely. Much of our funding is from the state of Nevada, the Housing Division. Right now, we have a large grant from the City of Reno, which is just focused on the City of Reno, and Washoe County. Our state of Nevada funding will be ending the end of 27, and that is the one that is allowing us to come into this area. So we will be working on other opportunities to help keep our services out in Lyon County. And then we're also working in Douglas, Churchill, and Story. So we're looking for funding for those areas. Just a testimonial. We received many testimonials from our folks. This gal, if you're familiar with the Sun Valley area in Reno, she lives in a very dark area and she never had any lights. So when she would come home, she would just raved about being able to see where she's going. So just some positive outcomes of the work that we do. People comments, they're just so happy that we help them out. We have a board of 7 and then our staff of 3. And I did bring our brochure that we can share with you and folks. And then we also have a fall prevention awareness pamphlet, talks about things to look at in your home that you should look to correct to make sure a fall prevention. So I'll share this little educational piece. I did want to share that we have helped completed 3 projects in the Fernley area, and we have 1 underway right now. We have been in communication with a total of 15. For whatever reason, they were not eligible. And unfortunately, I don't like reporting that there was more that weren't eligible than are, but we still keep working to find the right connection and right match with the homeowner. Was there any questions? Did I go through that too fast for you?
Okay, Lisa Callahan, I have one question or clarification. So on the income, are you including, besides, let's say, income, annual income, are you including assets in that evaluation? Like, let's say the house is paid for, or their stocks, like you say, you asked for stocks and bond certificates.
So that was a good question. We do collect the monthly the gross income, annual gross income. So that would be the social security and the pension, say. And then if they have an asset such as stocks, we have a very lenient, generous formula for counting assets. We haven't had anybody, we've had people 150,000 in assets of stocks, 300,000, but that only brings their annual gross income up slightly. Our goal is to help people keep their asset. We don't want them to have to use their asset, that they need that for themselves, for their health and whatnot. So we have a very lenient formula. The house is not counted as an asset. If they have other valuable property, that would be counted, but not the own home that they live in.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Also, we're working on the winter newsletter, Jackie, hopefully. And that maybe we could put some of your information in that newsletter.
Great,
And we're also working on updating our senior resource guide.
great. I'd be
So-
happy to email you with some snippet for your newsletter and the links or whatnot for your resource guide. And I can send that to Lisa. Or should I
Yeah,
send it?
Go ahead, Jackie.
Jackie LaVoy for the record. My question is, how do people know about your services? How do they contact you? How do they even know that this is an option that's available?
Well, we do a lot of outreach like this today. We have been in very good communication with Lyon County Health and Human Services. They have been very good voices for us, excuse me, to spread the word. And we have basically our strategy, I guess you would say, is a lot of word of mouth because people aging, they need that connection, being referred to, warm handoffs, those kinds of things. We haven't done any like major television advertising or anything like that. So it's basically been word of mouth through community organizations.
Jackie LaVoy again. So as far as the newsletter, we could coordinate with you to get an article written so that we can help promote
Yes.
awareness.
That would be great.
Okay.
We would be happy to participate in an article or a advertisement, however you see fit.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Katie. We appreciate your coming. This was
Thank you.
very helpful.
Thank you for having me. We certainly would like to serve more in Fernley. I have business cards too. I can add them. Do you want them? Where do you want these?
Come-
You want them up here?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I should sign this too.
Yes, please.
Okay, I just saw the brochure.
They're different. Oh, cards, okay. There's two different. So there's one on rebuilding and one on falling. Okay, you have, everybody has cards.
What's that? Sandy. Did you get all the brochures? Which one did you get? The shades, the falling ones.
Sandy, need a card? Okay. Oh, the fall, gotcha.
Did you get the falling ones?
Okay. Um, Item 2.2, are there any other presentations from businesses and organizations in and around the city of Fernley who offer services and benefits to senior citizens? Okay. Moving on to 3.1, possible action, discussion and election of a vice chair for the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee.
Jackie LaVoy, for the record, I'd like to nominate Sharon Hawley as our vice chair.
Lisa Callahan, I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sharon Hawley is now vice chair of the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee. Uh-huh. Item 3.2 for possible action, discussion regarding setting dates for the planning day and cleaning day at Desert Memorial Garden Cemetery and when to send donation letters.
Jackie LaVoy, for the record, the planting day at the cemetery will be April 18th from 9 till 2. Cleaning day has not been set yet. And as far as donation letters, I think we had talked previously about seeking donations of plants from maybe Lowe's. I'm not really sure. I don't remember that conversation that well. So all I really followed up on was the date and the time. So April 18th, 9 to 2.
Lisa Callahan, we did discuss donations from Lowe's, possibly Walmart, and the nursery in Fallon as far as providing plants for the planting day. And I believe we're saving the donation letters for fans. Now,
Could use the same letter, right?
we could use the same letter, but since are we sending out two letters in a close time frame, or for both items, making it either confusing, or what do I do?
Jordan Hicks for the record. So I went and made like two versions of some donation request letters. So I made like a generic one, and then I made templates of one for like a specific entity if we were to choose one. But I definitely made a generic one so it could fit the size of like any type of entity we want that we would like to donate to us. Okay, so that's the generic. And here's one that's like more specific, and those are just 5 copies.
Oh,
Here's
And this one,
this letter he says is more generic, and this one's more specific. And by generic and specific, you mean to what event that we're actually looking for donations?
correct. So y'all showed y'all a generic one of what it could just look like in general, and then I have another one that I just picked a random one. I just picked the American Legion post 16 and addressed it to them to show y'all what it would look like if you was to address a specific company or organization. And y'all just let me know what y'all think. I can make changes to it. But I have plenty of templates that I could use. And if we wanted to answer your question, Lisa, yeah, the generic ones is like a one size fits all, and we'll be able to send it to, anyone we like, and it wouldn't cause any confusion or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm just seeing as if we're sending out for fans, which we'll be talking about soon in this meeting, and plants, when our availability for getting plants, unless we're getting monetary donations to buy plants. But if we want donations of actual plants, then we need to talk to the businesses in town that sell plants. So Jordan, would you like to talk to Lowe's and Walmart and possibly, since you're in Fallon, yes. Do the,
Yes, they do. Sharon Hawley for the record, sorry about that. Tractor Supply, I know last year had lots of plants and flowers. So maybe we should contact them also.
okay, Lisa Callahan for the record. Yes, we could contact them also. I did not see plants and flowers there, but I might have missed them.
Jackie Lavoy for the record. So based on the fact that we don't really have anywhere to store plants, if we were to, I mean, are you saying we don't really have any place to store the plants? So we would expect them to donate the plants, bring them the day before or the day of this planting? Or is it better to seek monetary and then just buy it? I don't know. I've never done this, so I don't know what's the best process. Any thoughts?
Jordan Hicks for the record. I mean, I think either way would be fine. Just kind of depends on the organization and like their schedule, if they have time to drop stuff off, or if they don't have the time or the schedule to support actually physically being able to drop off some plants, then considering like monetary donations from people who can't supply us with like the time that they have. So I think it's best to just leave it open to both. And whatever works best for their schedule, I'm assuming it's like what they'll do, whether it's monetary or actually coming to donate actual plants.
Okay, Lisa Callahan, what about someone from the city picking them up the day before? Is that possible?
Jackie Lavoy for the record. We would have to obviously coordinate that with April and then Randy, whoever does, the
Right.
planting and all of that. And I'm sure it could be accomplished, but I should say I'm 100% sure, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
okay, when someone's donating and then putting the burden on them to get it there, at the cemetery, just adds another layer to that.
Sharon Holly for the record. One of the other things I know, now that I'm just going from what they did on the Main Street thing. I think it was Randy and Jessica Murdoch went and picked out the plants they wanted. But they went to Reno, they got them from Moana. But anyway, they picked out the plants they wanted, if I'm right. Sandy, is that right? I think Sandy might know. Oh, yeah. Anyway, maybe if we could kind of at least get an idea of what we want, because we don't want, I mean, I would like to know kind of what we're getting before.
Well, Jackie Lavoy for the record, because we have to be very specific as far as the plants that are donated that have to be hardy to handle the wind out there or the cemetery and the sun and all those things. So, but on the other hand, whatever they want to donate, that's gonna, be a sturdy plant. I don't really care as long as it's not something that's just gonna blow away or die the next day.
Exactly. Lisa Callahan, I agree with Jackie. It needs to be something that can sustain the weather and the conditions, out there.
Jackie Lavoy, back to these letters that Jordan prepared. On the one hand, I'm kind of fine with laying out what our intentions are for the spring with the planting and then also with the fan. And these businesses or these other organizations, I would hope, are not going to think they have to donate to all if they're just comfortable donating plants or they want to bring in 10 fans, just to know that there are those options that are available instead of us sending a letter now for plants and then a couple weeks later for fans. I think I kind of like this being combined. I think and I really like the simplicity and directness of these. I really do.
Lisa
Sure.
Callahan, yes, I like the simplicity of the letter also. And in all honesty, we're, middle of February, and for both fans and the plantings, things need to start happening before the end of this month, like around March 1st. And we also talked at the last meeting about possibly sending some of these letters via email if there was a list.
Jackie Lavoy for the record. So the recollection is that business licenses have everybody who's got a license has an email address, and there's some way that we could have this letter scanned and sent, and I'm asking staff, obviously, if there's a way that that could happen, just not and it wouldn't really be a lot of time involved as from the clerk's office, because all those emails are already, it'd just be getting this letter to you and then hitting that button and sending it off to everyone, right? Okay.
Okay.
But it's really not though. I mean, in my brain, if you've already got all those email addresses, yeah.
Okay, Lisa Callahan. Okay, Jordan, will you communicate with Sandy and get the letter to her, and we'll get these off by the 1st of March?
Yes, definitely. I can do that.
Jackie Lavoy for the record again. So we do have the two different letters, and I think we should determine which one. So tell me again, Jordan, that I'm really not getting what the big difference is.
Oh, there really wasn't much of a difference. One was just addressed to a specific entity, while the other one was just in general. So I just wanted to show y'all what it looked like if it was super generic, and what it looked like if y'all wanted to make individual ones like different every time for each company. So that's kind of like the difference
Okay,
between the two.
Lisa Callahan, Jordan, why don't you finalize what you would like to send and send that to me, Jackie, send it to us. And then we'll each individually respond to you about the letter. And if anything we see that needs to be changed.
Jordan Hicks for the record. Yeah, that sounds good. I would do that.
Jackie Lavoy for the record. I'm leaning more towards the more specific one, just because I like in the body where it talks about the spring planning specific for Desert Memorial, and then for vulnerable seniors for the fans and all of that. I do like all of that, because there it's still simple, but it's got a little bit more explanation, and I like that. I think that's good.
Thanks, Jackie. I got you.
Sharon Holly for the record. I like the more specific one too. That really makes it sound good.
And Jackie Lavoy for the record. So if we're gonna scan this and email it to everybody who has a business license, we would eliminate the part of the letter that says Dear American Legion, or whoever it would be, Dear Business, local business owner. You would have to come up with some nice way to address it. And then there lower in the body where you say we would be honored to recognize, I guess you just put you or your business as a valued community partner. So, yeah, okay. Because we do that part we do need to make generic, because it's getting sent to everybody with businesses.
Jordan Hicks for the record. I concur with you, Jackie. I got you. I'll make some changes and make it, I'll adjust it to like the more specific one and send a finalized edits to you
Okay.
all.
Good, thank you.
Okay, Lisa Callahan, do we need to vote on this, Sandy, or we're just?
No, this is all just general business.
Okay, so Jordan will make the changes on the letter to take specifics to general Fernley business, and we'll get those out by the 1st of March and go from there. Okay. Next agenda item, 3.3. Possible action, discussion, and consideration of moving committee member Hicks from the events subcommittee to the newsletter committee. So the newsletter committee, after the resignation of Denise Mormon, was open, and when to give Jordan the opportunity to move to newsletter, if that's what he would like to do, or would we like to move other subcommittee positions also?
Jackie Lavoy for the record. Newsletter is really not a committee, it's communications. A
Okay.
newsletter is something that falls under that committee, which I have been on for several years. And I thought that you were on the communications.
Just events.
I remember we talked about it, but there was like no official um action to like make sure that, remember we talked about it last time though, that I was gonna like start doing like newsletter and be part of communication. I think, well, actually, I think you're right. I think we voted on it. 'Cause I remember reading the last ones and it put us in
I don't,
different.
Lisa Callahan, I don't think we actually voted on it. It
Okay.
was a discussion about, did we need to do, a voting action to move you to communications? Since you're on the committee, if you want to do communications, stay on events. Jackie, I mean, do you still want to stay on communications?
Jackie LaVoy, for the record, I suggest that I stay on communications just for a next little while because we don't have Casey, who did the newsletter with us previously. I've done the newsletter for 4 years, and we're going to be getting a new staff member. You're new to the newsletter, to the committee in general, so I think maybe to just, and then at some point, soon, I'm more than happy. I mean, we go on different committees, or we stick with the same committee starting in October anyway. So by then, Jordan's got it under control with the staff. I'd be happy to switch off, but I think for now, just so that we can transition Jordan and the new staff.
Okay, Lisa Callahan, yeah, I agree that we need to have some consistency. And also this gives Jackie the support she needs while we get a new committee member. Okay, Jackie and Jordan will work on the communications, and until we get a new committee member, we'll all, take part in helping with events for Sharon.
Anyways.
Okay. All righty. Item 3.4, possible action, discussion and updates on coffee with the committee at Black Bear Diner, setting dates for the event and gathering ideas for future events. Any comment?
Jordan Hicks for the record. So I made like a kind of like a detailed event concept of the like committee event that we'll do like at the Black Bear Diner. Remember we discussed it at our last meeting that we had that I was present for. So I just made this. I could let y'all review it. It's also like pretty, and of course we can add like more details once we like solidify plans on like how we want to do it, what the theme is. But I remember we talked about ideas on how we'll kind of present it if we went to Black Bear Diner, like during the morning or something like that, maybe between the hours of like 9 to 11. And it kind of be like an informal thing where it's like a meet and greet and people talk with the committee, ask questions, address their problems. And the reason for the lack of formality is just so people could just already be in their natural, comfortable state and be able to express more problems more and be more transparent. So these are just super generic. And of course we can add details, but it's kind of like just an overview on like what we thought the concept would be or what it could be for that event that we want to do.
I'm Jackie LaVoy, for the record. I like this itinerary that you've drafted up. I think we obviously need to pick a date, and that is where I don't know how we would we approach Black Bear and see if they have particular days that they think would be best. And then I think we would need some sort of approval, maybe with the city, because we're under their, so we'd have to make sure that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you move forward on this, I guess, is where I am on that.
Lisa Callahan, I think we're probably at least to June before we could probably fit in putting something like this together between the fan drive and the planting and the ice cream social in May. So I would say looking at something like this in June. The manager at Black Bear is very open and very welcoming for us to do something. And I am sure that working out a day and time, especially, with notice would not be a problem. So we can pursue more on this at the next meeting. Another thing I was thinking about as far as using Black Bear, possibly their room, and that would be a book and puzzle exchange. People have a lot of books. Seniors tend to like to read actual handheld books versus electronic devices, and having a place with, coffee and snacks to, come bring some books and take some books, and possibly coordinate with the library also. But that was just another idea I came up with to throw out there as to what to do at Black Bear. Okay, so we will follow up more on Black Bear at the meeting in April. Item 3.5, possible action, discussion and consideration for obtaining bids for printing and revising the senior resource guide. Okay. I believe we printed the resource guides about 2 years ago. The program was in Casey's computer. So we have no idea where or Never Land, that somebody has access to this, because we don't want to reinvent the wheel. I've made some changes and updates that I have given Jackie for this. We may have some more. Best of my recollection, I think Allegra printed them, but not 100% positive. And that we spent around $300, not 100% positive. So who would be the person? I guess I'm directing this to Sandy since she's staff, to contact, or as far as being able to access what we already have in the computer to get updates made.
Good question. I don't know, I'd have to double check with April, because I know April worked a lot with Casey on that.
Okay.
And then so did Jessica, because they do a lot of our, newsletters and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we will find out what they did with Casey's computer.
Jackie Lavoy for the record. So the first thing we'll need to do is find out how to get this program off of Casey's computer, wherever it is, and make these modifications. And Lisa, like she stated, has made some revisions. And I think the other three of us need to look at this also and see if we can think of anything that needs to be added or deleted. After that's done, and we figure out where this is in the computer, so we don't have to redo it all, then we move forward with getting the bids. But I think first things first is we need to find where this is in the computer system and then make the modifications.
Okay. Lisa Callahan. Okay, Jackie, so why don't you contact April or Jessica and find out what we need to do and to get the revisions made. Does everyone have a copy of the resource guide? Sharon, do you?
Do you have one?
I gave Jordan one.
I can get you one.
And then we'll have this on the agenda for the April meeting, and should be ready then to go forward with bids, because we are out, except for the few floating around that each of us have. Okay, moving on to 3.6, possible action, discussion, and review of the 2025 Senior Committee Christmas Angel Tree. Any comments from?
Jackie Lavoy for the record. So the last time we met was before the angel tree distribution, right?
Correct.
So Lisa, you obviously worked more into it than Sharon or Jordan or I did. Can you let us know how many people?
Yes, Lisa Callahan. We had 15 angels that were on the tree, between our tree here at City Hall and our tree that we had at Big R. Big R was our tree at City Hall. The angels were gone very, very quickly. The tree at Big R, the staff there was great. The manager was great. They were encouraging customers toward the angel tree. It was prominent in the store that there were 2 angels left on the tree that we needed to fulfill. It became a little confusing with having 2 trees and 2 different lists and trying to match that up. Also, Black Bear was very helpful as far as they took applications. The library was helpful. They took some applications for the angels that went on the tree, but between the lists, it became very confusing at the end as the presents arrived as to kind of what was what and where it was. And then the issue became the list of requests. The items were more than the $50 limit that we put on the application. Then it became people didn't get here to pick them up. And they eventually were all distributed before Christmas, but Casey was good. He had them in his office and people kind of came in and picked them up. I delivered 2, one to a neighbor, it was very appreciative. Another was delivered to someone who said they were homebound and there were 3 young adults in the home. And so that was a little frustrating. And then she was not kind. And so that kind of, was here, we're doing this. So that kind of put a little bit of a damper on it. But we talked, thinking in terms of this coming year, and this is really the first year that those of us sitting up here worked on the angel tree.
Well, Sharon and I did the year before.
Yes, Sharon and Jackie, yeah.
It's just our second.
Okay, was the second year. But I think there was a lot more learned this year as far as what we want to do to go forward later this year with that, which we can, talk about at later meetings of changing what we do in December to possibly fuzzy. A lot of items on the lists were blankets and warm jackets, warm items, of changing this instead of to a specific person and list to get to somebody that possibly that we look into doing a fuzzy drive, warm fuzzy dry blankets and jackets. So I say we can discuss this more as we get later in the year this summer. Anything else, comments from anybody?
I apologize, Madam Chair. I don't know if you can hear me,
Yes.
but I wanted to go back to the last item. If you would just let me know what changes you want to make to the directory, I will make those changes. They are not solely in Casey's file. We have a file on our S drive that is specifically for your committee. So they do not just live with Casey's files. We have files for that. And I apologize, I was listening in my office and I thought I better speak to that now. But just give me the changes. Is it going to be Jordan and Jacqueline mainly working on that?
Yes.
Okay, so if you will send me any changes, or we could even meet possibly next week at a time that works for you. And we'll get all that addressed.
Okay.
Okay, sorry for interrupting, but.
Oh, no, thank you, April. We
Thank you.
didn't even see you come
Oh,
in.
that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jackie LaVoy, real quick, then April. Do you want to send an email to Jordan and me with some dates and times? You're sick, so I don't know what your availability is, so.
Absolutely. I really don't think this is gonna be continued. I think once I get things for this sinus infection, I'll be okay. I'm thinking that next week will work for me, so I'll send you times, dates, and I'm flexible. I can even meet on a weekend if that
Okay.
works better for you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
So we'll wait to hear from you then.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we are set on getting the resource guide, going to be updated. And we will talk more about 2026 Christmas later this year, would say probably June.
Okay.
Okay. 3.7, possible action discussion regarding the fan drive 2026, deciding on dates and pickup locations. So we discussed getting the letters out for the fan drive and being able to start accepting fans around the 1st of March, which is what we did last year. And we accepted fans up until we were giving them away. Okay, deciding on dates and pickup locations. Now I see what ties into 3.8, updates on time and location of Small Business Expo. And I'm going to ask April if she can get her voice. Is the Small Business Expo, the City of Fernley doing the Small Business Expo in first week of May?
Jessica Murdoch is currently working on that. She's in contact with Marcel, and they will be solidifying that date. So I will have her respond to your entire committee when that date will be. And you will be joining that, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, we had a table last year and we gave away fans at the table. And that worked out really well. People came by and we were able to give away fans. So I would like that to be one of our dates for giving away the fans is to tie into the Small Business Expo
Perfect.
event.
Okay, when I
So-
head back to the office, I'll email about the resource guide, and also I will include Jessica with it to let her know that you would like to reserve a table for that date to give away
Yes.
fans. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jackie LaVoy for the record. Last time we met, we had decided on a couple of dates, but the first date I think definitely should coincide with this Small Business Expo. But we had said May 9th, and then the other one was going to be June 13th. So the May 9th date is contingent upon the Small Business Expo here.
Correct.
And we confirm that up as soon as we get this email from Jessica. And I think we should go ahead and still stick with the June 13th, because that's about the date we did it last year also, was kind of the middle of June. So we're consistent with our dates and our times. The location for the June 13th is something we need to discuss. Obviously, the May 9th would be here because it'd be part of the Business Expo. But June 13th, we can do it again here. Last year, it got done at the Nest. Squeeze In has offered to let us they'll help us distribute fans out at their location. So those are some options.
Lisa Callahan, yeah, I like the option of Squeeze In for the location. The Nest worked great last year. Now the patio's enclosed, which kind of makes the viewing a little off. So I think would like to pursue the Squeeze In, has the area on the side there. It's visible, people coming in and out of, Rayleigh's and all of that. So I think that that's a location that we need to look into further.
And Jackie LaVoy for the record. So last year, I think we started both of those at 9 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't here when you did the one across the street at the Nest. How late in the day did you go?
We started at 9 a.m. and I believe we went till Sharon was 9 to 12. About 12:30. I think we were pretty close to, we still had a few fans left, but it was pretty quiet.
Jackie LaVoy, the main reason I'm asking that question is Squeeze In closes like at 1 or something like that.
And by June, they'll probably be on summer hours. They'll probably be closing at 1:32. But I think that's adequate. That's adequate time. And we'll also be, yeah, we'll be outside, but we did take shelter in the Nest because it was hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And Jackie LaVoy for the record again, so the letter that we'll use for the fan drive is this one that Jordan has generated that has a little bit of information about all the upcoming activities. We're just gonna stick with that one. And, I know you're gonna make a few revisions, Jordan, and send it to us. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Okay, so do we want to get locked down the location for June 13th, or we'll finalize at the next meeting,
Let's do it at
April?
the next thing.
Okay. Okay, so we'll talk with Squeeze In and other possibilities and discuss at the April meeting when and where that we're going to have the fan pickup. Also, I know there was a flyer made last year for fans, and that,
Like this?
yes, and social media, yeah, there was social media posts, so city.
Jackie LaVoy for the record. So the social media posts, do you do that, April? So we can get this
Yes, I will.
information to you?
I will be doing that. April Hummy for the record. Yes, if you can, and I actually made the previous flyers anyway. So, if is Jordan making a flyer, or did you want me to make a flyer again this year?
Jordan Hicks for the record. I definitely don't mind making flyers. It's fine with me.
Okay,
I could definitely make them.
absolutely. So what I'll do, Jordan, is I will forward you over a City of Fernley logo, transparent logo as well. And then when you're finished with that flyer, if you just send it over to me, I will post it to Facebook, the News Flash, and LinkedIn.
Sounds good. Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, 3.8, we've covered updates on time and location of Small Business Expo. Item 4, requests for future agenda items.
Sharon Holly for the record, I think you pretty much already planned those out.
I think we have.
Like 6.
Yeah, I think you guys have that pretty well covered.
Okay,
Jackie LaVoy for the record, though, Jordan and I do need to work on a newsletter fairly soon. So April, you will let us know as soon as staff has been appointed to help us with that, so we can coordinate with that person and get going on that.
April Hummy for the record. Yes, I will speak to Acting City Manager Lydia today. And most likely, if Jessica has a lot of time, we'll go ahead and put her on the newsletter.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so I will have confirmation for that today as well.
Thank you.
You'll be getting a lot of emails today.
Okay.
okay. Item 5, is there any additional public forum?
Jordan Hicks for the record. I just got one more question. I just want to clarify something regarding that letter. I want to see, did y'all prefer, I just want to make sure I get it right. Did y'all prefer that, because I'm definitely going to change like the contents up a little bit. Did y'all prefer like this one letter that can be addressed to any company, or would y'all want to be able to change it every time per company, depending on like how we send it, or I just want to see which one did y'all prefer?
First thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that we can use.
Easy day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for anything. Okay. Any more questions, comments before this meeting is adjourned?
And we have breakfast.
We have breakfast. Squeeze In brought breakfast.